like I said, a lot of people ask us why did we change from Cox Martial Arts to just Cox Martial Arts? Well, it's very simple. People asked us, what do we do? Well, we teach life skills. We build leaders to leave legacy. We do that through Machado Jiu Jitsu, our Tiger program, through our HEA Taekwondo program, and then also we have some other programs down the road that we do, like PPCT, which is pressure point control tactics, and then down the road, extreme martial arts and things of that nature. And we just thought it was a cool time to transition to and let people understand that we're more than just one thing. We do a couple things, and we do them really, really well. Our mission statement here is to help families, to help people and families lay a strong foundation that allows them to grow stronger mentally, physically, and emotionally by way of martial arts and life skill training. That's what we do. That's kind of where we set our standard for here. And I want to change this real quick, guys. Real quick. There we go. And what's our values? Our values are super simple. We train constantly. That means training with the way we talk, training with what we eat, training the way we teach. We train in the way we live our everyday lives with our family and the people we meet. So we're constantly training. It's not just you train when you're in class and then you leave and you go do something else. I'm not going to sit here and train hard in class and then go home and eat a burger and 5 pieces of cake and drink a soda. That's not training. For our instructors, we tell them, we don't drink sodas. And what we do is we challenge them not to do that. So that way, of course, a soda here and there is not going to hurt you. But one thing we want to do is have that mindset when you're at a restaurant or you're out with your friends, and then you have the choice between a water, a tea, or a soda. You choose water or tea because it says, why you doing? Well, I'm in the mindset of training, and I want to always make sure I'm taking care of my body. We live by example. Live by example in everything you do. So when people see you, do your actions speak louder than your words? Our values are mentorship. We believe that you should constantly be mentoring someone and being mentored by someone. So we invest. I have people that invest in me. I invest in our staff. Our staff invest in our instructors, and then our instructors into our students and assistant instructors. Believe in yourself. You can do great things. You have to believe in yourself to do those great things. And of course, remove negativity. There is no place in our school for negativity. We want to make sure that we are always in a place that when people have issues, that we address them properly. When people are upset, we address them properly. That's okay. But if someone has negative, condescending, and they become the kind of student or parent or staff member that instead of trying to lift others up is constantly trying to complain and bring others down, well, we can't have that. We have to remove that out of our school, and we don't allow it. So our big thing with removing negativity not only is for our staff, but it's for our instructors and our families too. We are not afraid to have hard conversations because we want this to be a place that people can escape from the crazy world we have and be a place where people can come and feel comfortable, feel loved and appreciated, and not have to mess around with all the negativity that the world is offering nowadays. So what programs do we offer? At Cox Martial Arts, we offer HCA Taekwondo. We offer the HCA Tiger Taekwondo program. We offer extreme martial arts, not just HCA Extreme Martial Arts, Live Extreme Martial Arts, a lot of different versions, but through tumbling and everything. Our extreme martial art program we offer, a lot of it is derivative of what Master Mike Chat did when he created the XMA program. Some of it's influenced by HEA, and a lot of it's influenced by him. And then a lot of the program that you see right now is also influenced by Mr. Shaw and Mr. Swan and myself. So it's kind of a fusion of a few things, and it's been extremely successful. Another thing we do is Machado Jiu Jitsu. Ground fighting is so important. A lot of people say, 60, 70% of all fights end up on the ground. That's true, but 100% of the fights start standing up. So we understand that Taekwondo is, I think, one of the best martial arts to do, but close second is Jiu Jitsu, and Machado Jiu Jitsu is the one we have chosen to partner with, and we love it. We have, of course, our Machado Junior Jiu Jitsu program that we just introduced, which we'll talk about later. We have an I Can Kid Special Abilities program, which is starting back up here in August, which we'll talk about in a second. We do off-campus PE. So if you're in the Magnolia or Woodland, Montgomery County, we do offer off-campus PE credits. We're accredited by all three school districts. And also we offer an associate's degree in Song Martial Arts. So those are things we offer inside of our programs. So things to know. You're going to see some fun pictures today. We have pictures I took yesterday, kind of going around. This is Miss Cox talking to one of our great parents, letting her know about things related to tournaments. And so we're going to talk about things you need to know about what we do here. First off is the app has all the info. All right. When in doubt, go the app route. If you haven't downloaded the app yet, use it. It has everything you need. Things to know, you must register for your classes. Why do we do this? Because we need to track your classes. First off, we need, like this says in the next point, student needs at least 12 classes per testing cycle to test. Black belts actually have to have over 30. We need to know who's coming to class so we can prepare our instructors. We also need to know who's coming to class so we can watch class trends to see what classes are bigger, what are smaller, it helps us to adjust our schedule that we do about every 6 months. So it's vital that you attend those classes. Also, there's times that we will send notifications to the students that registered for that particular class. So maybe we had a class that we talked about certain part of the form, and everyone was having a really hard time learning that part of the form. And then Miss Baelish jumps on the app and she goes, okay, I'm going to message everyone that was in my class to remind them about this drill we did that related to that class. Well, if you haven't registered for that class, then no. And we always want to manage our class sizes as well. If we're expecting 10 people, we set a class planner, and then all of a sudden 20 show up, we can monitor and adjust. But to create a better experience for your students and for everyone else, sign up for class. Uniform week is on our rotation. It goes white uniform week, black uniform week, t-shirt and baggies. That's a ATA or Cox Martial Arts t-shirt or Machado t-shirt and certain kick pants. You can't wear whatever pants you want. It has to be the type of kick pants we sell here for several reasons. One, because that's what frees you up to train. And two, we just need to keep a uniform with what we do. And that rotation never changes. It doesn't matter if we have a testing, a tournament, or anything. That rotation stays forever. We do testing every 8 to 10 weeks. The testing time right now we have set for the rest of the year. And we know it falls on some weird holiday weekends. We're going to try to do a little bit better next time to not have it be on so many holiday weekends. But essentially, our testing is the first week of every other month. We want to try to keep it as consistent as possible. So, the first Saturday of every other month, we have testing. And that helps prepare your students. Sometimes it's 8 weeks. Sometimes it's 9 weeks. I think one time it was 7 weeks. Sometimes it might fall on a holiday. And the only reason we did that was because we had a tournament coming up the following week. So we had to do some different things. Private lessons are available to all students, tigers, black belts, color belts, doesn't matter, adult, junior, that's for everyone. We offer off-campus PE. ATA offers an associate credited degree, a college degree through Lee College. We have a private Facebook group that you all should be a member of, Facebook page. If you don't know, go to the front desk, or you can and they have a QR code you can scan, or you just search Cox Martial Arts members. You'll find it there. We post a lot to there, a lot. So what I would say is, if you're not on Facebook, just join Facebook, join our group, and don't do anything else. If that's all you did, it would be enough. And I promise you would get a lot of information there. I know a lot of people want to stay off social media. Even myself, if I didn't have a business, I probably really wouldn't be on social media at all. But I think of it as you download the app, you get information on the app, download the app, Facebook, join our private group, and just be a part of it there. The app has all of our curriculum on it, videos, and the booklet PDF as well. We offer bi-weekly payment options for all memberships now. We started this beginning of the year. So about half of our members right now are on bi-weekly, and the rest of you guys are still on a monthly membership. Maybe membership comes out the 1st or 15th of every month. If you would like to switch yours to where it's a bi-weekly payment, see Mrs. Brown or Mr. Shackelford, and they'll explain how to do it. But essentially what we do is we can start it right away, and we do it every other Friday, and we just adjust your first payment a little bit, so that way it kind of gets you on board. You might pay a little bit more to start the bi-weekly payment to get it started right away. Now, if there's a Friday there's the 1st or 15th and it falls on a Friday, that's a good time to change it to bi-weekly, because we can just adjust it right then, where on the 1st, instead of your full payment come out, it would only be half payment, and then you'd pay the other half every other Friday. We offer discounts for 6 and 12-month paid in full memberships. You are free to train at both locations. Another big thing is you can always ask to speak with myself or Mrs. Cox if you need anything. So if you're Magnolia or Conroe, if there's a question, a concern, or a good thing, hopefully, about one of our instructors, feel free. You can always get a hold of us. If you can't get a hold of us directly, ask a staff member, and they will get a hold of us for you. And we love to talk to you guys. We love feedback. So please, if you want to talk to us, we are not some crazy random person that when we're not here, you can't get a hold of us. There's always a way to get a hold of us. So no, if you want to speak to us, just ask one of our staff members and they will get a hold of you, and we'd love to talk to you. Another thing, all testing and stripe information is in the curriculum book, which is on the app. You're going to see that phrase a lot. It's all there for you. It's been there for 5 years. It's all there for you. We do not take cancellation notices via email or voicemail. We tell you this when you sign up. It's in your membership agreement, but yet some people forget. Hopefully you never want to cancel, but we also understand life happens. No, it has to be in person. We lose emails all the time. Voicemails can get lost and get put in spam just like emails do. We don't accept it. If you're not attending classes, you still have to pay for your membership because your membership's active. The way our memberships work is you're paying for a spot in our school, you're paying for a spot on the app, and all those resources cost money. You're paying to be on our insurance. Everything costs money, as you know. So whether you're in class or not, that spot is still worth something, and that is a resource that we have to cover the cost for to manage with staff, manage everything. So just like I have a golf membership, but I don't play golf, I still got to pay to have the opportunity to use the course. If you're here, if you don't train for a week or two or a month, we love you, but your membership is still active because you are paying for a spot you have to reserve. We do not freeze memberships for vacations. If we did, we would go out of business. That's simple, all right? Everyone's always going on trips here and there. We get it, but do not freeze memberships for vacations. We offer a $100 referral credit. If you refer someone to join our school, they sign up for a full membership, we'll give you a credit to your membership to the pro shop, or we'll just give you a $100 bill. It's whatever you want. We have one parent that's already received like $500 because of referrals. So we definitely offer referral credit. It has to be someone outside your household though. So you can't sign up one student and then refer your other 3 kids and get $100 off every time. That's not how it works. It needs to be someone outside of your family. Sparring gear is required for all camel belts. Starting January 2023, you will not receive permission to test for your camel belt if you have not ordered your gear yet. It takes a while to get the gear in, especially with our supply chain issues. So starting January 2023, if you're planning to test for camel belt, you have to have already ordered your sparring gear because it is a requirement from ATA that you spar. unless you have a medical condition that keeps you from sparring, like my brother Craig Paul did for a long time. But we're running into issues where students have some of the sparring gear, some students don't. We don't want to mess with that. So speaking of that, let me make sure I got it all right there. Yeah, perfect. Okay. So the next thing is, a lot of people ask, reasons why students want to quit. We face this all the time. And I had Luke help out with Cox here yesterday. I love it. Actually, Luke, give me a face. Took him a couple tries, but he did it. But we want to be here to help your students. But I want to help come alongside our students and our parents today and explain to you guys, one of the main reasons why students tend to quit martial arts, and actually take it a step further, quit any activity. This isn't just a martial art thing. This applies to everything. When I was in children's pastor and children's ministry, we saw this all the time, where parents would come to us dealing with their students in so many different activities, different reasons. So this isn't something I learned just from being here. This is something that I have learned throughout all my years of working with students and adults, why we as human beings tend to want to quit. Reasons why students say they want to quit. So this is the reason or excuses that we as people, adults or students, will use why they want to quit something. Not just one thing, anything. I want to spend more time with my friends. Again, kids or adults. I'm bored. I don't like my instructor. Maybe they're mean, or they don't pay attention to me, or they don't high five me enough, whatever it might be. It's not fun anymore. I just want to try other things. It's hard to memorize the material. So this is a lot of reasons why we want to quit things in our life. Again, not just martial arts. It could be music, relationships, sports, maybe a group that you're a part of, maybe a gaming group, whatever it is. These are things, that excuses that come up. The real reason why students want to quit isn't what they tell you. This is what we find is actually on the inside, and when we get to the core of what happens. They don't feel like they don't have a platform to display their hard work. Imagine going to a soccer practice every day, over and over again. All you did was kick the ball and do sprints up and down the field. Kick the ball, do sprints up and down the field. You never did scrimmages. You never got a chance to try to kick the ball in the goal, and you never play in a game. How long would you want to keep doing that? Imagine if you get a piano, you're practicing piano, and all you do is scales every day on the piano. You're never allowed to learn to practice a song, and you're never allowed to perform that song in front of anyone. You wouldn't want to keep doing those activities. Martial arts is no different. Come to class, you drill it, you learn, you grow, you grow, you grow. You don't test when you're ready to test. Well, now you feel defeated because you want to show people what you want to do. You don't do demonstrations. You don't go to tournaments. You don't have a platform to display your hard work. Imagine making a painting and putting that painting in the closet and never being able to show it. That happens with students, especially our 8 to 12-year-old students. They want to display and get recognized for their hard work. Another reason why students just simply have too many activities and they're physically exhausted. Maybe they do school, band, music, baseball, and then martial arts. Well, something has to give. I, of course, believe, and I will stand firm, that martial arts is the best foundational sport you can do. I think it helps with every other sport. So if your student wants to be great at cheer, gymnastics, tumbling, baseball, soccer, keep them in martial arts, because martial arts will teach them all the theory and fundamentals they need to be great at those other sports. Okay, I firmly believe that, and I have proof. I've seen it with my own family. I've seen it with my black belts. I promise you that is the reason. So if you say your student wants to be great at X, martial arts is going to help enhance that. But kids can just be exhausted. They just want to go to sleep. They don't want to go to class. They want to sleep because their bodies are going through so much. A lot of times, we don't realize that when kids are going through puberty, they are physically exhausted. Their body, their hormones are pulling them so many directions. It's as if they've worked out for 4 hours. but yet they've done nothing. So a lot of times as parents, we see our kid and all of a sudden they're like juiced up one day, they have so much energy, they'll do whatever. And the next day you can't get them to get off the couch and they say they're tired. They're like, no, you're not tired. Like, get up. You were just running around yesterday. Well, the truth is medically, their body does that. They are medically, they can be super, have a lot of energy, endorphins kicking them, boom, 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 boom. And the next day their body is growing and going through so many transitions, their body is drained. So be sensitive to that. But that's a lot of reasons. Sometimes they're just tired. They can't see the long-term benefits of becoming well adapted and mastering a skill. All they see is this one thing, but they don't see that if they stick with it, they achieve black belt or world champion, that they'll accomplish and be able to do something that most people will never get to do. And I promise you this, parents, I'm telling you, I've never given a black belt to a student and they've received it and said, it's not worth it. I've never seen that happen. I've never seen someone win first place at a tournament and walk up to their parent and be like, Mom and Dad, this first place wasn't worth it. It doesn't happen because they see it. And then once they get to that point, they appreciate it, all the hard work that goes into it. But sometimes even as adults, how many of us try to save money, right? And it's so hard because we don't understand that if we save $100 a month at the end of the year, we're going to have $1,200 in our bank account. You know, we don't see that if we don't use this credit card and all of a sudden we don't see the interest that compounds. And we don't see that if we don't do that, how we save money. You know, instead of paying $10 a month on our credit card, we pay it off right away and it saves us down the road. When we don't see that long-term benefit, it's hard to keep on that short-term goal. So it's important to always remind our students of that long-term benefit, what's going to help them. Family issues come up, financial health, new work, moving. Understand this, if your family is ever going through a hard time financially, we want to help you out. We have scholarship programs in place to assist you. We've done that because me and Ms. Cox love y'all, and we use this as an opportunity to help y'all. And so we want to be there for you. Health issues, same thing. Talk to us. As long as they're real reasons. If your kid hurts their finger, or if you hurt your finger, you can still train. They're at their foot, they can still train. If you tell a doctor your student does taekwondo and they just hurt their wrist, the doctor's going to think only what they saw on TV. No, they can't go back to taekwondo. You're going to bring in like a 8-week doctor's note. Listen, you can train in taekwondo with one hand and 2 feet. We're professionals at this too. We understand that doctors sometimes, they don't know what we do in taekwondo. For all they know is we're going into a hot, sweaty gym, no gear, and beating the snot out of each other. So we can help with health issues, okay? We want to be there for you. A lot of times students don't feel like they're progressing. That's a common thing that happens at purple belt and recommended black belt. If a student quits, they're going to quit at purple belt or recommended black belt because it simply gets harder and they feel like they're not progressing. I'm telling you as a parent, don't let them stop. Purple belt, recommended black belt, it's going to come up. Push them through it. It's a common thing because it just gets tougher and they have to put in a little bit extra effort, and a little bit of extra effort will go a long way. If your student gets permission to test, let them test. Okay, that's us as instructors telling them they're ready to test. Not just that they're physically got all the moves perfectly, but maybe we see that Johnny or Susie or whoever is having a hard time being motivated and they're right close ready. So we go and tell them, hey, go ahead and test, because we know they need to see that they're making progress. Very important. Maybe they're scared of certain elements of martial arts, sparring or weapons. They don't want to tell anyone because they're embarrassed. Talk to them about it. Hey, you're purple belt. Now you're required to do board breaking. All of a sudden you want to stop. Does it hurt when you break a board? Are you scared? Yeah, actually it does. When I hit the board, my hand hurts. It gets swollen. I don't want to do that. So I just want to stop. I just don't want to do it anymore. Well, you don't want your kid to stop because of that. So talk to them. Maybe they're mad or upset about the outcome of a testing. Maybe they have ranked out testing. Maybe they no change. Maybe they went to a tournament and they failed and they got last place. Well, again, that's not something we want them to stop. We want to use that as a reason for them to continue and to teach them how to have grit and to overcome those things to become a better person. But if your student has a bad testing or tournament, then they come to you the next week that they want to stop. Slow down, think, okay, yes, you're wanting to do this because of this bigger reason. Remember, goals are something you want, you have to really work hard for. I used this before in staff trainings. Results, you see that line, results, we got to get your results. And then it takes time to get those results. We think it's always going to be a constant progress. And the reality of it is the results, for a while, it doesn't seem like you're making any progress. And then you're slowly making progress. And then all of a sudden, boom, it shoots up and you're making a ton of progress. That's how reality works with goals and seeing results in our life. The in-between is the give up zone. All right. That time it takes to get that loop to go up, that's when kids usually want to stop, or adults stop any activity, even with relationships and marriages, that give up zone. We want to push through that because at the end, it's going to be a beautiful thing. We want to keep pushing harder. We understand that your identity is based on your behavior, and then your behavior will result in your goals. How you identify yourself, I want to be a black belt. Well, then that behavior needs to be like a black belt, and then you'll achieve that goal of black belt. I want to be a world champion. I'm just using Taekwondo terms. Your identity is that, so then your behavior will be that, and then you'll reach that goal. You know, for adults, I want to be able to not get gassed out when I'm playing catch with my son or daughter outside or taking walks with my family. So you want to be strong with your family physically. Well, then your behaviors have to act that way in order to achieve your goals. You can't say you want to do something and not change your behavior and think that your goals are going to come. So remind yourself of that as a parent, and then also remind your students of that. If you want this goal, then your behavior has to change. If you're recommending black belt, you want to be a black belt, then your behavior, the way you practice, the way you study has to change. It's not going to be the same as if you're a white belt. You have to change that behavior to achieve those goals. Speaking of goals, we have some new life skill posters coming out that we're really excited about, that we sent to our marketing company and they came up with. So I'm going to share them with you guys right now. Boom. So excited. You'll be seeing these posters framed, and we're going to get them printed professionally and framed and put up at our school. These are people that took photos with Senior Master Rose. So he sends me all the photos, and then I send them, and we go through our marketing company and we pick out the photos. So then they help create it for us. And man, I think they turned out awesome. And we've used HCA ambassadors a lot, but we wanted to use our own people for this. So you're going to see these posters up at our school. We want people to understand that we are about life skills. So we want to teach those life skills to build leaders, leave a legacy. And I think they turned out awesome. Really, really cool. Meet our new color belt family. You've seen us talk about it a lot, but you're going to see these guys a lot more often. These are our color belt family that help create our color belt curriculum all the way to black belt. Each one of them tell a different story. Each one of them have a progress from white belt. You see our white belt where her dough box is all messed up, all the way to our black belt. Miss McKenzie, our black belt, rocking out a sidekick. And in between, we have our older students, we have our dads, we have our special abilities, we have kids that get it naturally, kids that have to work hard for it, leaders. So this is our new color belt family. Now, a cool thing is we have our new color belt curriculum book that's coming out. And I'm going to kind of see if I can do this real quick. I'm going to send a link. So this is, whenever you go to our app, there's going to be a link to download this. But we are going to be printing these to give out to every color belt student when they get their new rank. So every color belt will now have their own curriculum book based on the rank. White belt, orange belt, yellow belt. They'll collect these books, 3-hole punch them for them as they get a new one, put them in a binder. So by the time they become black belt, they have all 9 books to reference. And they are free with your testing. If you lose them or want to buy extras, they're going to be $10 each. But this is what it looks like. So here's our white belt curriculum. You see we got our Kelsey right here. She's quiet and shy. She started a new Taekwondo journey. She's pure and without knowledge of martial arts. These are the basic kicks that she's learning: strikes, blocks, middle stances. The first benefit she's going to understand is overcoming shyness. Our attribute is base, starting in any position. And then this is what we're really excited about now in these books that your students are going to be receiving. There is a practice sheet. This is where we're going to tell them what new techniques they're learning and how they're going to be practicing them at home. So this is the schedule for weeks 1 and 3, daily practice schedule. On Monday, they need 25 high blocks on both sides, push-ups and sit-ups. Then Tuesday, then Wednesday. And then, of course, it talks about you need to perform 10 stretch kicks, and you do 15 seconds of middle splits every day. So now your student not only has their Taekwondo stuff they need to be doing, but here is their daily practice schedule for them. It takes less than 5 minutes to do this. So this is something that's not going to take up a lot of time, but it's going to help keep your student motivated. Remember, we want them to keep achieving goals through hard work, to keep them from stopping. We want to pursue them. So we have a school of 500 black belts, and everyone's a black belt at school. I want a school of all black belts and white belts because all of our color belts keep getting to black belt. This is great. And so we have weekly, daily practice schedule, which is phenomenal. Then we have accountability for your parent or accountability partner to say, yes, Johnny or Susie, whoever did this every day, Monday through Friday. Accountability is huge when achieving goals. And then we're bringing back our strike sheet. So they'll bring their book every week to class, and then we will mark off on their book. They attended 4 classes. Now they're eligible for the blue stripe. They turn in their good D sheet and task sheet. Now they get their yellow stripe. Meaning of rank, boom, 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 boom. Now they got their learning stripe. Did they show this? We'll check it off. Now they run their practice stripe. So not only do you have a practice schedule, but you bring your book to every class, and they'll turn it into every class, and we'll mark off on their book on the back. And then that tells you as a parent where they're progressing and what they need to do to earn their next stripe. And then, of course, is the breakdown of the form. Their form will be written out for them as a reference. So we are extremely excited about this color belt curriculum book because it will be for everybody, not just our white belts, but for all belts in between. All right, let me see if I can go back now to my keynote here. So we're really, really excited about that. A lot of people ask us, what's the difference between basic and leadership? Very easy. Basic is 2 classes per week. You work with just Song Shabongs, life skills, board breaking, sparring, and combat, and access to our app and curriculum. Leadership gives students accountability and recognition. So leadership students will have a collared uniform with their name on the back, look super sharp. We keep our leadership students more accountable, making sure they are helping teach other students. They're helping other students stay accountable. They're being the example in class. Unlimited classes, more detailed training inside of classes, expanded weapons training, extreme and tumbling classes, state and world champ programs. So once you're in leadership, now you have the ability to earn, when you go to tournaments, you earn points that will put you in standings to earn state or qualify for districts, or put you in top 10 in world to earn world champion if you're a black belt. Of course, life skill development, advanced board breaking, purple belt access to our app and curriculum, instructor and legacy program, and of course, advanced sparring and combat as well. Who can be in leadership? Anyone. Anybody can be in leadership. What rank is required to be in leadership? Well, right now, currently, once you achieve recommended black belt, you have to join leadership. But starting in January 2023, purple belt will be the requirement. And that will not be grandfathered in either. Once January hits, if you're purple belt and above, if you're not leadership, you will be required to join leadership because there's advanced material we need to be doing in every class, and we simply don't have enough time or space or manpower to split the classes purple belt and above and do everything we need to do. It's just stuff is not, we simply don't have the resources to do everything we want to be doing now because we have some leadership, some basic in those higher rank classes. So starting in January 2023, purple belt and above will be required to be in our leadership program so that we can dive deeper in our traditional classes. Because when you're in leadership, the benefits are those specialty classes, but we want you as parents to see the benefits in your regular traditional classes you come into as well. So just keep coming to your normal class time, but you're going to see a huge benefit with your student being in leadership. Do you have to attend tournaments? No, it's not required at all. That's just part of what leadership, that's one of 5 parts of leadership is tournaments, but it's really cool if you do. Do you have to buy all the weapons? Leadership have 9 different weapons we work with. The answer is no. It's a la carte. Maybe your kid really likes song knots, so when we're studying song knots one Texas cycle, they do that. Song songs, they do that, but it's not required to get all the weapons. Just get the ones they enjoy, and then if they don't have the leadership weapon we're working on that cycle, then they just revert back to the song shabong. Not a big deal. Is testing fees included in leadership? Yes, testing fees are included in leadership. So that means once you join our leadership program, you don't pay a testing fee anymore. Now, starting in 2023 season, so not this season, but next season, there's new leadership traditional weapons forms for color belts that are required if you're competing in the champions division. So, and what's not on here is the sword. The gumdo sword will be coming out. But right now, officially, single song shabong, jongbong, which is the long staff, double song shabong, single wongi, double wongi, and song knots. There is a set leadership weapons form that color belts have to perform when they're in the champions division at tournaments. They're not required to do this during creative and extreme. Matter of fact, they cannot do these forms in creative and extreme, and they cannot do these forms as black belts either. This is simply a color belt only traditional weapons form. And I think it's great. It's something as a regional tournament team leader myself that I've asked for years, that color belts have a set traditional weapons form that they have to know. It's going to help with our judging a lot because it's going to be a set thing. Our guys are going to get a head start on it. We are teaching it to our students now because they can use it now, but it's not required till next season. But we want to get a head start on it. So in all of our leadership program, we're going to be teaching the required leadership traditional weapons form for tournaments. So that way our guys have a year head start on it, which is really cool. And you will see already on the app, if you go to the Protect section, the leadership section, I've already uploaded the forms and the breakdown of the forms. I know the long staff, I want to say the single song shabong and there's only 3 or 4 uploaded. I haven't uploaded all of them yet, but as a leadership student, when you become a leadership student, you have more access to more videos on the app, and they're already on there for you to look at, to learn. So it's there. Go check it out. It's awesome. Our Machado Jiu Jitsu program, we have an adult program, and we just introduced our junior program. We love it. Jiu Jitsu teaches you how to do powerful throws and takedowns, lightning quick transitions, ground control, defensive strategies on the ground, and learn how to submit and control someone so you can come out on top. And the idea is, in our jiu-jitsu program, it is designed to help people when they're on the ground, how to take care of themselves when someone bigger is on top of them, and how to get out of that dangerous situation. Even Master Machado himself will tell you that, yes, when a fight ends up on the ground, the first thing you need to do is try to get off the ground, because only bad things happen when you're in close quarters. But if you're on the ground, learning how to control them, you're a female, a bigger male gets on top of you, how do you wiggle your body and move to get out and away? Or how do you control him so that way then you turn it back on them? It's so important to understand. And jiu-jitsu will teach all of that, which is really, really cool. We love it, okay? Now, the next thing is, well, let me go back real quick with our jiu-jitsu program. For our kids program, it's very slow paced. We are very careful because we want to make sure that depending on kids' ages, their growth plates can be a very big concern for parents. So there's very few, if not any, submissions taught to juniors. It's about positioning, how to get out of a bad situation, how to protect yourself on the ground, how to move around, how to get up, teaching you how to control your body, how to learn how to protect yourself. In our adult program there is, and in our jiu-jitsu program, there's a full tournament circuit too. It's really cool. I highly recommend you trying out a class, either the adult class or the junior class. Now, we don't have the junior program in Conroe yet because we haven't had enough people sign up for it. We do have it in Magnolia though, on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. It is rocking and rolling, so make sure you check out our jiu-jitsu program through Carlos Machado, Master Machado. He is the bomb.com. Our Tiger program, if you don't know, our Tiger program is designed to enhance your kids' ability to pay attention and follow direction. In the age of sensory overload with computers and even my graphics here, you see I'm always moving, changing colors. We want to provide your kids with immediate results of which will reflect positive in their academic work and social interactions. So we want to teach our Tigers how to stand still, how to respond to command. We're not going to teach your Tigers how to be combative and bashing people in the nose and taking down and sparring. That's the purpose of the Tiger program, is to get them to follow direction and respond to command. By doing so is going to allow them to move up into our junior program where we're going to get more combative. We have had some Tiger parents be like, I want my kid to be doing more of this or that or the other. Hey, you can spar when you're in Tigers, but know that the idea is, which we love, by the way, but the idea is to help build a foundation that's going to allow them to get bigger and to allow them to get better as they get older. Resources we have for our Tigers: we have a Tiger curriculum book, we have Tiger training videos on the app, a cool Tiger cartoon, we have Tiger read-along videos and we have private lessons. Remember, in our Tiger program, every character goes through a different life skill issue, be it going too fast, bullies, not being proud of who they are, not having control when they have a lot of power, not listening to instruction, trying to get people to do things for them when they should do it themselves, not practicing at home. These are things that our characters go through, and it's in the books and it's in our app where you can watch the read-along videos of all of our Tigers. And so your kids can start learning that they can feel a connection to the characters, they can understand it. And then in our Tiger program and our curriculum book, we go through every group does the same form, but if they're a white belt and if they're a cherry belt, the form should look dramatically different. A white belt's not, it's going to be kind of awkward doing it. A cherry belt's going to be super strong and fast, and that's what we want to see them progress. And then based on their Tiger rank is how we're going to also grade their testing and their development. If they're a white belt, they're doing front kicks. If they're a cherry belt, they need to be doing jump front kicks. So not only do they might do a lot of group things, but we also work on them on an individual basis because there's individual techniques they need to be learning to prepare them for juniors. It's a strong foundation for martial arts and life skill development. Tigers is a great place to be introduced to tournaments, learn how to perform under pressure, and how to handle victory and defeat. So those are goals for our Tigers. Our I Can Kids is our special abilities program. We are excited to announce we're going to be starting that back up Monday, August 22nd. We're going to come out with a special time. That's for kids that have disabilities, our kids that suffer from autism, Asperger's, Down syndrome. So we want to come alongside. Our goal for our ICANS program is much like Tigers. I want everyone to know this. It's not for the kids to stay in that program. It's to teach the kids the foundation to get them into our junior classes. All of our instructors are trained on how to help and teach our special ability students. So our ICANS program is a specialty class, though, dedicated just for them to give them the fundamentals they need to get them out of that class and into the regular junior or adult programs or black belt programs. But we are excited to reintroduce that starting this August. We can't wait. For more information, please see myself or Ms. Cox or Ms. Brown in Magnolia, or talk to Mr. and Mrs. Swan or Ms. Shackford in Conroe, and we'll explain what that looks like. It's only going to be at the Magnolia campus to start with. and then we'll introduce you to the Conroe campus later. Now, question time. Man, I went a lot longer than I thought on this first part. We still haven't really dove into tournaments, and just to give you a sneak peek, these are some stuff we got into tournaments. We talk about importance, and I'll go through that really quick here in a second, but I'm going to exit out of this real quick, and I'm going to stop sharing. We're going to go back, and all the things we just talked about real quick, I want to see if you guys have any questions for me in regarding our new programs, what we do. Maybe it's merchandise, maybe it's, I don't know, anything. Now's the time to ask, and it could even be a tournament question. I might save the tournament talk for later, but I am going to do a couple things with the tournaments. I'm going to talk about point systems, how that works, and a few things here. But in the meantime, if you have a question, now is the opportunity to ask me, and we can go from there. And if you're shy to ask, that's okay. We can always ask later on. All right, let's see here. We have a question. Miss Shannon, I don't think I only got part of your question. So if you're here, could you go ahead and ask me that or retype it so I can see? It only shows no sports should be all year round. So I'm trying to understand what your question is there, or your comment. If you don't mind, you can unmute yourself and ask me. I'd greatly appreciate it. Boom, boom, boom. All right, I'll give it a few more seconds, guys. If anyone has a question about what we just talked about, or a question in general with their school, or a comment, I would love to answer that now. This is your chance. We've got about 60 of you guys in here, so I'd love to be able to chat with you a little bit, because if you have a question on your heart or mind, I bet you someone else does as well.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
On the curriculum books, you said that they're going to get them whenever they do their belt testing, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Are they going to get the ones that they haven't had?
So we talked about that as a staff. Essentially what's going to happen is you're going to get your book of your new rank, and then once you become recommended black belt, the books that you're missing, we'll give it to you at our cost, whatever our print cost is. Then that's what you'll pay to get the rest of the books.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. All right. So Mr. Robert asked, should take 2 classes. Yes. First off, are the curriculum books will be, if they want credit, it's not mandatory to fill out for the accountability. Of course, that's why it's there. But if the stripe card will be in their curriculum book. So if they want credit to be put down so they can earn their next stripe, that book will be required for them to bring. Not necessarily every class. You can bring it, if you do 2 classes a week, you can bring it to your second class as needed to get checked off. But we're doing it so you as parents will have a way to see where the progress is at, what they need to know, and also for us as instructors to know where they're at. So that is something. Oh, they're definitely, the whole point of the stripe card is it shows you what the requirements are to get their next stripe. And I'll show you here real quick here. Let's see if I can't pull it up right now, but I'll show you. But yeah, so the stripe card that's in the book, there are segments that as you get it filled out, then once that's filled out, then they'll get their stripe. It will make a lot more sense once you see the book. We used to do it for like 2 years, and a lot of our higher ranked students will remember the stripe cards, but we got rid of them for a little bit during COVID, but we decided to bring them back because our instructors really liked them. Okay, so Miss Angela asked, well, first off, welcome. Your kids are new and they've only been in 2 classes. That's awesome. When did they start learning forms? Well, actually, everything they're doing right now is their form. They might not be learning it in a straight segment, like, hey, do this, do this, do this. But everything in our class planners is built around helping them learn their form. I look at it this way, like when we're teaching our students, or if your kid's learning how to write their name, first they learn how to write their ABCs, and then they learn how to group up their name. First they learn their first name, then their last name. So although you might not see them directly doing their form, like stop, let's only work on forms. Our warm-ups, our drills, everything is based on our forms. So and then you'll see in times where they'll start doing full segments. But if they're new as a white belt juniors actually don't learn the form at all. They learn the segments of the form. They test on that. Then when they become an orange belt, they'll learn the complete form. Now, if they're an adult white belt, they go ahead and learn the complete form. So for our white belt juniors, we take their first testing on all their basics. They won't actually test on their form. They only test on all their basics. Right now is how we've been doing it. So they'll do, all right, everyone do high block punch, then we'll do high block punch. So that's a great question, though. Very good. Thank you so much for asking. Are there plans to add more senior instructors to complement Mr. and Mrs. Flan based on the growth of the Conroe School? Mr. Robert, hey, man, come on, let's go. We'd love to have you join our school and do our adult program and help us make that happen. We only have instructors are homegrown, and we love adult instructors, and we wish we could have more. And if you're there, we'd love to have you be a part of it because our adults are vital to what we do. However, it's a process. Mr. Phillips will even tell you that, who's on here, and a lot of our other adult instructors, that you have to train, you have to be a student, and you have to be an assistant instructor, and you have to be an instructor. So even though they might not be an adult teaching the class, the juniors or teenagers that are teaching it usually have 5 to 6 years of experience before they start teaching. But we absolutely love adults, and we would love to have more adults attend our instructor program and commit to us. We would take it all day long. We love it, love it, love it. And that's how I got started. I didn't start till I was an adult. And so we're always looking to expand our instructor program and to get more, 20-plus-year-old instructors on the mat. However, I will tell you that, and I'll just be biased. My 11-year-old daughter, Kyrene, can probably teach better than almost everyone there. She's phenomenal because she has 7 years of martial arts experience already under her belt. However, I understand as an adult, we can relate better with certain situations. I totally get that too. But don't let it fool you, though. A lot of our ladies that are teaching classes, they're actually a lot older. They just look really young. Okay. A lot of people thought Miss Bayless was only 12 and she's 18, about to turn 19. So, but they are phenomenal. So definitely looking for that. Can students try out the jiu-jitsu class before signing up? Yes, absolutely. Students can try out their jiu-jitsu class before signing up. Not a lot of classes, though, because you have to have a gi. You have to have a certain uniform to do the class. So really 1 or 2 classes, then you got to make a decision, because otherwise you're going to be wearing a white uniform and get it nasty, wearing t-shirts, and there's just drills we can't do. Like jiu-jitsu, you have to have a partner and you have to have a gi to do a lot of, like 80%, especially in the junior program, like 90% of what we do. So they can try out 1 or 2 classes, then you got to decide, because we got to get them going on their uniform. Pop here. I love the questions though, guys. It's really cool. Okay, so I guess what Miss Shannon was maybe asking is, I want a break. We'll come back and train, but no sport should be year round. Definitely have to disagree with you a little bit there, ma'am. If you want to accomplish anything in an art, be it music, martial arts, painting, it's something that is ongoing. You never stop doing that. And so that's why this is a year-round thing. If we have a student that maybe is a purple belt and they're learning stuff and then they stop, when you stop stretching and moving your body, after about 4 or 5 days, your body starts to revert. And what normally happens, just like I would quit, kids are in school, they're off for summer. What if you're a teacher, you would agree with me, the first 3 months of a teacher's curriculum is reteaching what they taught their kids last year. So if a kid comes back to martial arts, they've been off for a month or two, now they have to relearn. They don't just get to start back again. They got to relearn everything, retrain the body, restretch. They will get frustrated, and usually they quit because they're having to go back and do things that they did when they were a white belt. So we think that obviously you don't have to train maybe constantly, like 3 or 4 classes during the summer because you have vacations, but absolutely you need to stay in the groove, because if you don't, they will quit, because it is extremely hard to keep it up if you're staying off, going back, staying off, going back. It needs to be a constant thing. Now, obviously, you might taper back tournaments, or you might taper back how many classes you come, and then sometimes you ramp it up and you're doing more, but it needs to be a consistent thing, 100%. It has to be for your body and for memorization and remembering material, especially once you become a black belt. Will junior black belt Jiu Jitsu classes be the same time as it is now with adults? No. The junior classes right now are Monday, well, depending, Conroe doesn't have any right now, but right now it's Tuesday and Wednesday, Tuesday at 4:20, Tuesday at 4:10, Wednesday at 4:20. If they're an older student, like for instance, my daughter Kyrene's 11, about to turn 12, Devin is 12, we allow them to do the adult class as well. And on Saturday, everyone does it together. So it's like a family class on Saturday. But the junior class is going to stay on Tuesdays and Wednesdays right now until we get more signed up. Then we'll move them up to a higher time. All right, cool. Again, now we'll have a view here. As we're running through this next part, I'm going to be kind of quick with it. You can raise your hand, and Mr. Splon will unmute you and stop, and then we'll be able to do what we need to do. Don't worry, if you're on this thing right now, Mr. Splon's going to make a list of everyone that is here. So that way we can put you in a drawing for the Live Extreme seminar. So we will, the one that says truck phone, I guess we can put that as a thing, but definitely he'll type out a list real quick. And so that way you can Live Extreme. Pop. All right, again, if you have a question, turn on your camera, raise your hand, and I will stop at any moment during this presentation, answer it, and we'll be ready to rock and roll. So real quick, with tournaments, I'm going to share my screen again. Instead of going everything, we're going to talk about does tournaments help your students? Absolutely. It gives your students a real life platform to reinforce life skill development, determination, honor, respect, goals, everything. Your students, the sports side of Taekwondo is our tournaments. So when you go to tournaments, you see how big the world of Taekwondo really is. If you've gone to worlds or nationals, you'll see it. I mean, the parents can give testimonies, which I should have had already in this, of how great tournaments can be, because it shows you a bigger world of martial arts. So it 100% helps your student, either helps them grow because maybe they failed or didn't accomplish what they need to, or it helps them achieve even higher goals because they realize they have ability to do great things with it. Things you need to know: 80% of our students that quit never took part in any type of tournament. 95% of our students that earn black belt took part in at least one in-school tournament and one regional. And that's actually gone up. It's like more like 98% now. Team sparring that we do helps retain our students that are in that teenager age, because it's that team atmosphere. Student that participate in 3 regional tournaments. stay an average of 25 months longer than non-tournament students. So right there, it tells you that when your student attends at least 3 regional tournaments, they see a bigger picture. They have a platform to perform. They stay an average of 2 years longer in martial arts. It's pretty awesome. 50% of our tournament team, I mean, anyone can do tournaments. Remember, anyone can do tournaments, is made up of siblings and parents. So if you're a sibling or parent and you're on the fence about doing tournaments, when you share that as a family, it's a big thing. My whole family did it together and we love it. 3 rules to go by in a tournament. If you don't make tournaments a priority, don't expect your students to. So if us as instructors don't think it's important, we shouldn't expect you to think it's important. If we don't take time to go to them, we shouldn't expect you to want to go to them. If our students are, rule number 2, if our students are ready for testing, then they're ready for a tournament. We don't say, hey, you're ready for testing, but you're not ready to compete yet. Or, hey, you're really ready to compete in sparring, but you're not ready to test in your form. That will never come out of our mouths. If it does, let me know. It'll probably be the last class an instructor teaches, okay? Is your students ready for tournaments, ready for testing, they're ready for a tournament? Rule number 3, it's a fun experience for your student. Don't rush it. If you're planning to go to a tournament, don't be like, hey, we're going to go to a tournament, but we're going to leave at 5. Don't do that. Plan for the whole day. Plan to stay extra. Make sure that you're taking time out. Don't make it a rush thing. Make it a time where you can enjoy the experience. It creates anxiety and undue stress on yourself and your student. You're like, hey, we're going to drive up Saturday morning. We're going to leave Saturday. We got to leave by 4. So many things can happen at a tournament where divisions can run late, divisions can start early. To make it better for yourself, do not do that. Matter of fact, you'll see a video that will be posted to the Region 112 family and students of me talking about here, actually tonight, I think, talking about plan to stay the whole day. Don't try to plan to leave early because when you do, it makes a better experience. How divisions are broken up by age. They're the age that your student or yourself will be as of December 31st of the current year. The current year for this tournament season is 2022. So whatever age you or your student are is of a 2022, that's your competition age. It won't change until Worlds, okay? Worlds is the start and stop of all tournament seasons. The way they rank color belt groups, for the most part, is white, orange, yellow belts compete against each other. Camo, green, purple compete against each other. Blue, brown, and red blacks compete against each other. And red and black belts compete against each other, with the exception of recommended black belts can now compete in the black belt division. They just have to have their black belt before districts. Competition level is recreation, which is novice. You don't earn points, and judges are allowed to help you. And it's great. We require all of our color belts to do it for at least 2 tournaments because it's a great stepping stone to get ready for the champion, the competitive division. Boys and girls will be combined in tigers and white, orange, and yellow belts. Camel belt and up, all genders are separated. There are 10 different events in HA tournaments: forms, weapons, combat, sparring, crit of weapons, crit of forms, extreme weapons, and team sparring and team combat. That is for the team sparring steps for black belts only. How do you earn titles? Well, to earn a state champ title, again, you have to be in leadership for all this. To earn a state champ title, you have to be number 1 in the number 1 position in your respective division at the end of the year in the state of Texas. So if you have the most points in your division in forms, I'm going to use forms as an example for everything right now. If you're number 1 in state in forms, then at the end of the tournament season, which is Worlds 2023 in July 2023, then you win the title of state champion. District champion, you must be top 10 in your state to qualify to go to districts. Then you'll compete in a one-time event for the South District Championship to earn the title of district champ for your respective division. So your top 10 in the state in forms, first or 10, doesn't matter, the state of Texas. You'll go to districts. You'll compete against the people that are top 10 in Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Louisiana. And all those people that register will come together for a one-time event. And if you win at districts, then you win district champ. It's kind of confusing because on a public school level, districts is before state and before regionals. I get that, but HA switched it and they made it different. So state champ is first level, district champ is the next level. Pretty awesome. World champ, you must compete as a black belt and finish top 10 in the world, or win district champ in your respective division at districts to earn a wild card spot for the Tournament of Champions. So world champ is extremely hard to do, extremely hard to do. Worlds to Worlds. The tournament season starts and ends at Worlds. All points must be earned by the end of May. Actually, that's not true. I need to update the slide. End of April. Season ends at districts for color belts. The season ends at Worlds Tournament Champions for black belts. So that's like the furthest you can go. Then the new season starts after Tournament of Champions. Example, Worlds is held Monday through Sunday. Tournament of Champions is Wednesday through Friday. The new season starts Saturday and Sunday. That's how that works. There are different types of tournaments. There's a class C, B, A, AA, and AAA. The reason why is the lower class C is usually there's smaller numbers. And then every class, there's an average of more competitors. More competitors obviously would be harder. AA's are nationals. AAA is only at Worlds. A's are like our regional tournament that we host, the Lone Star Championship. That is for anyone around the country that qualify because they have enough competitors attending. And that's how it works. If you get first place at these events, those are the points you would earn. Second place and third place. So you see your best two regionals, best two nationals, best 5 regionals, and your best 3 in schools, and your world's placement are the max points you can earn as you're earning points in a tournament. But you can understand the importance of going to worlds or nationals because it's a big point jump if you place. Also, the importance of going to A tournaments over B tournaments because you have a chance of earning a lot more points to have better standings. If anyone wants to take a snapshot of that one, this would be a great slide to take a picture of because this is probably the most important factor in questions we get asked all the time. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Students are responsible for checking your points. Your ATA expiration date 1 week before competition. There's a portal on atamartialarts.com where you can register and see your membership and a lot of other cool resources. And so you're responsible for checking to make sure that your points are posted correctly, and you only have 30 days to make any corrections. Need help with that? Ms. Brown or Mr. Shackelford would love to show you what that looks like. We cannot check everyone's points. If after 30 days, no exceptions, if your points aren't there, you lose them. How do you prepare your students to start tournaments? First, you got to join leadership. Okay, best thing. Attend judging clinics. It's open to all color belts and black belts. Even parents are encouraged to attend. Myself and Master Hornbuckle are the only 2 people that are licensed to run judging clinics in Texas. I will be running one here in the next few months. Attend any special seminar you can, like the Live Extreme seminar. Tournament private lesson packages. We do private lesson tournament package 3 for $75. So say if you're signed up for a tournament coming up and you want to get ready for it, specifically for the tournament, you get with one of our instructors. We do this one time. You can only do it one time. A private lesson package. Save yourself some money on private lessons, and it helps prepare your student. But you must be in leadership. You must be registered for a tournament, and you can only do the package once per tournament season. Start in a recreational division. It's a stepping stone. All of our students must do it for the first 2 regionals. Set a goal to be on the All-Texas team. Attend every Texas regional tournament. Don't worry about traveling everywhere. Dallas and Houston, that's enough. Kima, Austin, wherever it is. You want to be great, do your Texas tournaments. You do not have permission to go to an out-of-state tournament if it's the same weekend of a Texas tournament. You have to support your region. You must start early. You never know who will be the next world champion. Don't wait until your student is a brown belt, recommended black belt, or black belt to start tournaments. It'll be very hard for them to catch up because tournament speed and in-school speed are different. The only way to get better at tournaments is to go to tournaments. You can't supplement it. So we recommend starting them right away, even if it's just 1 or 2 a year. Like if you have a tiger, go to 1 or 2 tiger tournaments a year. You don't have to do like a lot at first, but start early because it will help your student tremendously to be great later on. We find that 70 to 85% of our students that compete started before they were purple belt. All right, a lot of people got to start purple belt. It's a big rank. It's a big change. Where I register for tournaments, you go to the pro shop or the front desk. For regionals, nationals, and worlds, you have to do it online through ATA Easy Sign Up. How much do they cost? It's standard for all ATA tournaments. Forms and sparring are packaged together at $45. All other events are $20. If you don't compete in forms and sparring, your first event is $35. All other events is $20. So if you're only doing weapons, your first event would be $35. At our school, it's not an ATA rule. It is a Mr. Cox rule. You cannot compete in sparring and not do forms. That is not allowed. You have to do forms. You can't just go and try to fight. You got to do both. Third family members are only $10 per event. Pretty cool. At the end of the day, tournaments are a great way for your student to come out of their shell and experience what Salan Taekwondo is all about. Tournaments should not make your students nervous, but rather excite them to try new things, become better. They still make us nervous, but it's good to overcome it. As a rule, though, black belts have to stay to the end of a tournament. If you're 13 and up, you need to stay to the end of the tournament. If you're 18 or up, as a black belt, you have to stay to the end of the tournament to help judge, support, and be a part of it. If not, you run the risk of losing your points. Checklist. For tournaments, you need a full white uniform, white undershirt. Creative Extreme, you need a black uniform. It's not required, but it's important to have. Belt, of course. Sparring gear, all men must bring their sport cups. Otherwise, you can't compete. If they get caught without your sport cup, you get disqualified. Make sure you bring your weapons. Registration slip, black or white tennis shoes, water bottle. For our friends and family, wear your Cox competition shirts. We will be selling those again starting next week. Bring a jacket. It can get really cold in most convention centers. Money for spectator passes, entertainment for the kids. You might be waiting around for a while. It's part of the game. So it's just part of anything you do in any other sport. So you definitely need to bring some stuff to kind of keep the younger ones entertained. Portable chargers and some light snacks. So that's kind of what we got going on for our tournaments. With that being said, does anyone have any questions for me regarding tournaments and stuff? If you do, you can ask. You can unmute yourself and just ask right away, or you can type it in and send us a message.
Mr. Cox?
Yes.
Is the new weapons judging criteria effective this tournament season or starting next one? And did you want to go over that a little bit?
I do want to go over that, Mr. Swan. Thank you so much. There is a new weapons judging criteria. So for those that haven't attended a tournament before, you wouldn't, know the difference. But for those that have attended for a while, this is the difference. And the difference is now the overall center judge still judges overall everything, the weapons, everything. Presentation. The A judge, I believe it's A, judges the body. So, for instance, if you're doing the single song shabang form, the A judge doesn't necessarily watch the weapon, but they make sure that the student's doing the proper stances, has their non-weapon hand correct, make sure they're using the correct side. If there's kicks in the form, they're doing the correct kick, their body position, everything, their trajectory, the whole 9 yards. So, and then the B judge judges only the weapon, the striking angles of the weapon, the intended use of the weapon, the combinations, and control of the weapon. So what ATA has done is they've broken it down to where you have one judge is judging the stance in the body, paying attention to that. One judge is only paying attention to the weapon. And then the center judge is paying attention to everything. Because if you've ever watched a weapons form, it can be really fast and can be really, really difficult to check everything. So trying to get a better experience and a more consistent judging score, so you don't have someone go 8-8-2, right? It helps because now you have a better judging criteria, and that will start at the Texas Twister this Friday and Saturday. So you shouldn't see a big difference in judging at all. Matter of fact, it should be better. And the judges, especially in the black belt division, however, even in creative and extreme, this is only for traditional weapons, and it's only for black belt weapons right now because color belt traditional weapons isn't set yet. However, they're going to tell the judges to try to practice this during color belt traditional weapon, and eventually, I suspect that for all weapons, even creative and extreme, it will be part of the judging criteria. But from what I understand right now, I have to double check the rules. And Mr. Splon, if you can read it and find out for me, but I'm pretty sure it only pertains to black belt traditional, but will most likely taper into even color belt traditional as well. All right. Great question, sir. And so that's a new thing coming out. So Ms. Vault asked a great question as far as instructors trying to watch students. So the answer is, Ms. Vault, and we've actually had some parents ask us this in the past. We've had some parents get really excited and some really upset ones because they didn't quite understand it. As a staff at tournaments, we try, and as a competition team in general, we try to watch everyone. However, it's easier for us to watch color belts. It's harder for us to watch black belts because as a staff, we're required, and as black belts, we're required to judge, and we have competition too. So we are not focused on just leadership students. We'll never do that. We want to watch everyone. Matter of fact, usually as a staff or instructors, I tell our instructors to find our new students, our color belts and our tigers, and really help encourage them because we know it's new for them. Our kids that are in the recreational division or the novice division, because we want to be able to help them with the experience. And then our more experienced competitors, we know they got this. Like, obviously, we want to encourage them and cheer them on as much as we can, but we want to make sure those that are first-time attenders or maybe new and only attended a few tournaments, that we're there as much as we can be to support you. However, the reality is there might be a time in the tournament where one of us, you might have like 10 or 15 of us grouped around one kid because we're all free at that one moment. And then the next tournament, that same student, none of us see them because we're all judging or taking care of issues or scorekeeping or competing. Myself, even, I barely get to watch my daughters ever do it because I'm running the tournament, or Mrs. Cox. So sometimes we rely on some of our other parents to help us out, and we do that. But we definitely want to try as much as possible. Speaking of that, is there a master schedule for this year? Yes, ma'am. There is a master schedule for this year. It should be at all the front desk, and it shows the tournaments and our testings. If you don't have that, please go to the front desk. There should be a master schedule for the rest of the year on the front desk for all the events we have going on. Ms. Bradford, I agree. The best decision for a family is to compete together. How many Texas regional tournaments are there in a season? 5. There's 5 Texas regionals in every season. First one is the Twister. Then we have Dallas, the Sonic Showdown, then Galveston, then Master Hornbooks and Mesquite, and then ours in April. With that being said, talking about competition team and school spirit, I'll share a great story with you guys. Okay, we were at Worlds, and there is a school there called Pride Martial Arts, and they were an amazing school. They had like tons of like orange stuff and like wearing their competition shirts, and they were just like, they were mean, I wanted to be a part of their school almost. It was really, really cool. Granted, their school is in LA. And it was only like 4 or 5 hour drive from Phoenix. So they could bring a lot more people to Worlds than say we could. But we had a parent, Mrs. Gossett, saw these people, and guys, she was disturbed. She was disturbed at the fact that they had all the school pride, and we had our competition shirts, but we needed to do better. We needed to do better, and it was awesome. She was and she was disturbed in the fact that she is so proud of our school. She wants everyone to see it, and the fact that this school would act like their competition team has more pride than our team, that's not going to happen, right? We have to show them who the best is. So what we're going to start doing, it's going to be hard to do this tournament, but starting next tournament, the week before the tournament, I have told Mrs. Gossett, Miss Cox, and we're going to get the moms from Magnolia, and we're going to get moms from Conroe. We're all going to like a Miss Chicas would be great. All of them. We're all going to get them together and do like a school themed pride preparedness. So like, ribbons in the hair, banners, whatever stuff they want to do to create that, I want to say cheer mom atmosphere. I hate to say that, but you guys understand what I'm trying to say. They are going to, we're going to plan a day where you guys come together, talk about what you need. We're gonna help you with any resources we can. So that way, when our team shows up to a tournament, we have blue and red hair, and we have streamers, and Pride Martial Arts. There's like girls in like tutus, and the guys had like tattoos. I don't know. It was cool. It was cool. I dig it. They walked around with flags. I mean, finger foam. Like they had all this stuff. I mean, it was awesome. So we want to do that, and we want to take that element to our team to show the pride we have as a school. So with that being said, everything's been kind of crazy right now, coming off the Worlds, but we will definitely do it for the Song Showdown ahead of time. So Miss Gossett will help take the lead on that. She'll get with Miss Cox, she'll get with Mrs. Splon. They'll all get together, then they'll shout it out to all the families, and then anyway, we will do all that together and get everyone in, and we'll shoot out a notification for a meeting time, and we'll go from there. So I'm excited about it. I think the moms of our school are more excited, but I'm cool with that. I love that. I think that's great. Yeah. I can tell Miss Cat Splon is going to be super excited. But so that's going to be another thing coming down.